Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we have to talk about the ridiculousness that used to be Hollywood and the ridiculousness that some people in Hollywood still want it to be. Politics, messaging, and all of that needs to come back, make a comeback, and for a lot of different reasons, including diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, let's talk about it. Here we go. Now, before we get started, just a real quick reminder, I'm trying to get to 50K with your kind help I can. First of all, double check you're still subscribed. If not, click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, make sure you've turned on all notifications, and then hit that thumbs up button. Those three efforts right there are a good start, and make sure you leave a comment during the course of the video or afterwards. Now, Issa Rae is known to be a YouTube creator originally, and then somebody who went on to work with HBO. And she recently lamented in an interview with the Rap magazine that DEI has become a bad word in Hollywood. And I'm not sure exactly if that's true, but it's a bad way to say bad business idea. And I think a lot of people are hip to that at this point. But let's jump into the story from our friend Trevor Denning over at That Park Place. Issa Rae went from creating her own series on YouTube to becoming a major player in Hollywood. She spoke recently at the Rap's Creators X Hollywood Summit, noting that she is now facing a new challenge in an evolving industry. You mean one that's requiring you to actually produce something good that will make money? I mean, that's really kind of strange, an acknowledgement that, well, you got to take the extra steps to make something people want to see. And she said, in quotes, "I'm seeing it just blatantly. People aren't investing like they were before." DEI has changed meanings and has become a bad word. The producer added that other minority executives have told her they can't co-sign her projects for fear of losing their jobs in the current climate. Well, this is kind of the climate that was created by doing a lot of meritless projects in the past. You've got, woke Lord of the Rings over at Amazon, and they're going to be paying for that for years, which would be actually you paying for that for years because you're going to pay more for Amazon services, whether you like it or not. Same thing is true about HBO and some of their failed things, including a show that she ran that wasn't really exactly a remarkable hit. But I digress, and we will continue. Critics of DEI suggest the shift away from the policy may be a good thing for Hollywood if it's actually happening. And that's a good question. Is it actually happening? I haven't seen so much of the messaging lately, even in the promotion. And I think any time that it's tacked on to something, I think people flee in fear. They just aren't interested anymore. And that makes Hollywood a little wary. You can't take big risks with other people's money when you know that nobody's going to support it. So Issa Rae commented on Hollywood's shifting investment climate, and when she launched her original YouTube series all the way back in 2011, she felt that there was a dearth of representation in the industry. Oh boy. See, and that's the other bad word, representation. Which means, well, you're hiring somebody for no other reason than they represent a particular group. And if it happens to be racial, doesn't that seem suspiciously racist to you? Let me know those thoughts in the comments section down below. But the project went on to build a large and dedicated fan base, and 3 years after the series ended, Rae was hired by HBO for Insecure, which was a show that ran there for a little while, 5 seasons in all. She co-wrote, co-created, and produced that particular show at a time when, well, there was plenty of offers for representation available, and maybe not a lot of other stuff was being focused on, which was a problem. Now, some might assume that that level of success would have made it easier to get future projects off the ground. However, Rae argues that studios scaling back diversity, equity, and inclusion policies have created new challenges. I don't know if I agree. After so much progress, she says, we're kind of back to limited representation and having to stake claim of our stories, she said. We're back where we started, but we're wiser. Are you really? Going on a interview like this in a public forum where you can be reported on is maybe not the best move at this point. I think this is the kind of thing that a Rachel Zegler type would say in a less adept way. But look, Issa Rae appears to be arguing that the reduction of the DEI frameworks has really shifted things back to merit-based opportunities, which I think is a good thing. right? I mean, it removed a lot of pathways toward instantaneous stardom and opportunity that didn't exist for anybody else. I mean, those changing pathways in a shifting industry are recognizable. The producer noted that the way she pitches projects has also changed. You have to be smarter about how to package and market projects, she said, now that DEI is gone. Wait a minute. You mean you have to present something that is appealing to the people that are, well, buying it and is going to be appealing in some way to an audience? Or are you shifting the way you describe things? And the answer to that is terrifying. Now that DEI is gone, you tell them it's not a show about a black woman, it's a show about class. And as icky as that might feel, it gets the show sold. Because I guess there's nothing wrong with class warfare, right? At the end of the day, Issa Rae is just merely revealing something we already knew was in the way of progress of any kind when it came to making stories in Hollywood, whether for television, premium television, or for film. And as Issa Rae continued on throughout this article, and I encourage you to go read it over on That Park Place, people aren't investing like they were before. Well, because they can't afford to. Because investing without the consequences that, well, we're now going to see for many of these entities was a fool's errand, and one that may have cost a lot of people their jobs in Hollywood, and to this very day may still be. But hey, those are my thoughts. What are yours? That's right. Let me know your thoughts about what Issa Rae had to say in the comment section down below. Do you think DEI being off the table is a good thing or a bad thing for Hollywood? Do you think that it will lead to more merit-based hires and materials being made in the future? Or do you think we will be going back to a very lazy form of representation and inclusion? And do we really want to focus on classism in a world where we're already seeing it being exploited by the news media every single day? Let me know your thoughts, as I said, in the comments section down below. And give me a chance and check out That Garden Place over on the new channel, because I'm dropping content there every week, and hopefully I have some more recipes this week. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands because it's good hygiene, and until next time, see ya. Just not watching any of this DEI garbage.